All right, good evening, everybody. This is going to be a Bitcoin and altcoin update for February the 19th, 2020. Let's get right into it. So basically, I'm going to switch. I had this on a 4-hour chart. Let's go over to a daily real quick, and I'll show you what I was talking about last night with symmetry. We were looking at this move right here and thinking that if this move equaled it and it stopped right here, which it did, right over here, that we might see. And yesterday it looked like it might try to do that to get up to this symmetry move and test the 1272 at 10,800, possibly 10,900. In fact, the reverse happened, okay? And here's what happens, right? I did another symmetry move. And these are just things you have to watch for, right? And here's the other thing. Where did Bitcoin stop today? From this high to this low, it stopped right at the 78.6 retracement. Okay? It right there twice. Okay? That was a clear signal that it was just not going to make that move. So when it's not going to make that move, then what do? You have to do this. Okay? Let's go back to the daily. All right, and so what we're going to do is we're going to take this move that it made down. Okay, so you draw your fib-based, right, trend-based fib extension, okay, and you draw it from that high to this low and then back up to the high. This area down here now becomes the one-to-one extension, okay, which also happens to be right around where the 161.8 retracement is, okay? So I'm going to get the 1272 out of there since it passed it, because I did a fib retracement on it last night, since we didn't break highs, right? But anyway, that's what happens, right? And we're going to get this little area out of here. Let's get rid of that line. And the 78.6, we'll get that out of there as well since it passed it. And that kind of cleans things up a little bit. And this is where we're at, okay? And this is a huge level for Bitcoin. This little area right here is a big level because you're back below the 10, back below the 20, and now you're retesting the 233 and the 50 right here, and the 200 just below it, okay? So let's keep an eye on this area right here, okay? It's trying to come back and retest. If it can hold that, then you might get the bounce back up. We'll draw some new fibs. Actually, I'm going to get rid of that one since it, obviously made a lower low. But let's keep an eye on this area right here. Let's see if that holds. If it does, we might get a, possible bounce off this. You still want to make a higher high, right? There was a high, lower high now. So we're in a lower high setting. And then you have to ask yourself, is this kind of you could maybe draw a flag off that, or you could draw a wedge off of it somehow. But to me, until we make a higher high, this could be the correction that that Bitcoin needs. So we'll see what happens in the next few days. I don't think it's anything to get too terribly panicked about, but we'll see. Let's go to Aetherium, and same thing, right? Can't make a higher high. Looked like it was going to yesterday, or actually earlier today, my bad, and it couldn't, right? So failure to make a higher high. And now it's coming back and testing and not even closing below the 10 EMA yet. But if this area fails, then we're going to get a quick shot right back down to about 240. And then after that, you're testing old support over here at 225. If it can manage to break and hold the 10 EMA and break higher, you obviously want to get above this stick right here. That's a bearish engulfing candle. If I zoom in just a little bit, you'll see it. This is now 2 bearish engulfing candles, okay? Is the market trying to tell us something right here? And that's what we have to concern ourselves with. Is the market trying to tell us something? Okay? So just keep an eye on this. Let's go over to Litecoin. Same sort of thing as Aetherium. Bearish engulfing, bearish engulfing. Is it telling us something? Until we break this low right here, we're still holding support. You just have to watch it, right? You just have to watch it. But right now, if this 10 crosses the 20, then we could be, in for a deeper retracement, and we'll just have to keep an eye on it. Let's go over to XRP. Same thing. Again, not trying to sound like a broken record, but again, bearish engulfing, bearish engulfing. You get the pop, top, bounce, and then bears come in. So this needs to be watched. Okay. I'm not trying to get too bearish here, but these are things you just have to watch, and you have to take the signals as they're given to you, right? Let's go over to Link. Link, double top. Okay, right here. Keep an eye on your 10 EMA. Keep an eye on your 38.2. And below that, you can see the retracements. If it can make a higher high, then obviously you're coming up and testing this area around a little over 5, and then possibly 565. But it just looks like it needs some to digest this move, right? This is it's such a huge move percentage-wise. It's not going to kill anything to come back in and maybe get it at a little cheaper price. So let's just keep an eye on that as well. Wow, XTZ just right now doesn't really care what the heck's going on with the market. Still holding the 10 EMA on a closing basis. Didn't even retest it on this move down here. This one looks really strong. If it can break above this fib cluster up in here around 407 to 412, could just make a monster move. But don't just FOMO into it. Keep your positions small and just add on little retraces like you get right here. All right, let's go over to ZRX. Got pounded again today. Looks very similar. It's going to trade pretty much the way Aetherium does. Bullet or bearish engulfing here, bearish engulfing. Can it hold the 20? Needs to really close above it. If not, it's going to come back and retest the 50 EMA and possibly this area right over here. I'll just draw a line on it right there. So you can see where previous resistance was and now should be support right here around 26 cents. So keep an eye on that. What else can we look at? Let's look at ADA. This one here, it better hurry and get back above the 10 and the 20. Otherwise, your 10 is now going to start, and which it has been, is starting to turn into resistance. So just watch that. What else can we look at? EOS. Yeah, not looking too good. Broke this. We're going to get rid of this line right here since it broke it. That is no longer support. Tweezer top right up here, and just bearish since then. It's just pulling all the way back. Trying to hold a fib cluster in this zone, but the 233 is what's really the driver of this, trying to hold it up. So maybe some sideways action, and then if it can curl off that, it's going to take a while to do. After that, what else do we got? Let's go take a look at ICX just real quick. This one tried to get going today. We talked about this, holding this area right here. It was a nice bounce off of it, so if some of you got into it, congratulations. That was a good percentage gain move, but then it retraced all of that, and it's still trying to hold the 10 and the 20. Still looking okay as far as the stochastic RSI, trying to come up out of oversold conditions. I'm not sure I would be in a real big hurry about getting into this one, but who knows? In the next day or two, it could pop up in this area. And I think that's pretty much all I've got for tonight, guys. If you have any questions, you know where I'm at in Discord, or you can tweet me on Twitter at CryptoFib. Again, thanks again, guys. Have a good evening.